Before I get even started, I just have this thought, and maybe you have it too. What was going on with the USA team against Puerto Rico? What happened? Let's get into it. What I saw was that I don't even know how to put it. What I saw was that the team was kind of like laxed or kind of sloppy in different portions of the game. They could have did much better towards Puerto Rico than they did. I saw some people, some team members hogging the ball. I don't know why they do that because this is a team sport. It's really not about one person making all the buckets. It's about helping the team as a whole win the game. And at one point, I saw, Caitlin looking for the ball, waiting for the ball. And there were people that were taking it, you know, uphill, taking the ball uphill who shouldn't have been doing it and then didn't score. And I'm like, what is going on here? They had like 2 point guards or 3 point guards on the floor. Any one of them could have been the one given the ball to bring it uphill. And there were some who decided to do it themselves. Now that quickly got changed where they stopped doing it eventually. Perhaps they got the hint. For instance, Angel Reese is not the one to take the ball, up the court. She's not the one. Don't do it. And you have to play where your strengths are. If your strength is not passing the ball, then, you need to be in the gym getting better at it, or don't do it. Don't pass the ball if that's not your strength. Now, pretty much like last night, Caitlin Clark didn't play like she did in the first game against Senegal. I find that interesting. I'm wondering, did someone have a talk with her? It reminded me of sometimes within her first year of her rookie year where she wouldn't get put in, or she would somehow be subdued, like someone taught her to not to do so much. That's what it reminded me of. And I wonder, was there a talking to her about, you know, not doing too much? When it's natural for her to play the game. To play the game for Caitlin Clark is to score points, is to assist other players, and get rebounds or steals when she's able to. That makes sense. Okay? You have some point guards who will assist others, okay, who will try to assist others, and sometimes, you know, it not work out. So they end up having more points than assists. And the disparity is pretty, is there. And there's some point guards who just want to shoot the ball in the hoop. They're good, they're scoring points, but the assists are not there. The other ways of helping the team on the defense is not there. Now, mind you, hey, if they're a point guard, a shooting point guard, That's what they do. Okay. But how can you do that without also helping your teammates by assisting them if you're a point guard? If you're a point guard, you're looking at the whole court. You're looking at what's going on and having a step or two beyond or above, like what's happening right there. You're thinking ahead of time. Okay, you're thinking ahead of time. And so I saw some hogging of the ball. Um, people that shouldn't have been passing were passing. Um, and I saw Caitlin like waiting for the ball on a few occasions that she wasn't given, either to make a play or to bring the ball up the court. So I don't know what's going on. Now, Carol Lawson says that, she's just looking at the roster, looking at, who plays well together, who's complimenting each other, and all of that. I get that. That's what's going on. Right now, there's multiple levels of things going on. There's the level of, okay, Team USA, what's the better, starting five? How do they play together? How do they gel together? Are they going to score more points? When they bring in the second half, the next five, are they gelling together? Are they working together? All of that matters. Okay, so she was saying how she's going to be switching it up, you know, back and forth, and what you see as the first five might not be the first five the next time or the next time. She's figuring it out with the team. Okay, I get that, and also let's not forget this is the time for free agency once the season starts up, if it starts, and players, coaches, people are looking who they gel with, who they're how they're passing the ball, um, how they're working together as a team. A lot of things are being looked at. I get it. You have four, well, say you have three coaches in the WNBA that are coaching on the USA team. You have the Duke college coach who's also looking at the players and what's going on with them for future reference in terms of the cup. So a lot's at stake here. Okay. But somehow it seemed to me, and maybe it didn't seem that way to you, hey, give me your thoughts, in the comments, let me know. But it seemed like that Caitlyn was subdued a little bit, or people weren't utilizing her the way they could have. People weren't allowing her to be the point guard at certain moments. It eventually got rectified. But there's certain moments where there was some sort of breakdown because people were handling the ball that need not handle the ball. Okay, so so the game against Puerto Rico was not up to par. Puerto Rico scored far too many points. Let's take a look at the score. We know that the score was 91 USA, 48 Puerto Rico. Okay, the quarters. First quarter, Puerto Rico 7, USA 24. Second quarter, 12 Puerto Rico and 22 USA. Quarter 3, 14 Puerto Rico, 20 USA. Quarter 4, Puerto Rico 15 and USA 25. Now looking at that, we can tell that again, USA were up. They took over and dominated pretty much every quarter. They could have done better. There were moments, like I said, where they just were not where they could have been on the court. Now, for Puerto Rico, there were a couple of folks who scored high. Amani McGee Stafford, she had 14 points. And India Pagan had 9. And Trinity San Antonio had 8. And then it was Pamela Rosado who had 8. For USA, we had Paige Beckers, who had 16, the top scorer. And then we have Kelsey Plum, 12 points. We had Angel Reese, who had 10 points, and I believe she had a double-double. And then we have Kiki, our friend, had 10 points. Jackie Young, 9, and Caitlin Clark, 8. Efficiency, Imani McGee Stafford and Puerto Rico team, 18 score. Paige Becker, 22. Points, Paige Becker, 16. Imani, 14. Rebounds, Imani, 7. Angel Reese, 13. Assists, Zeta Gonzalez, 3 points, or 3 on the scale here. Chelsea Gray, 4. Blocks, Imani, 3. Monique Billings, 2. And steals, Imani, 1. And Paige Beckers, 3. Field goals, percentage, 28 for Puerto Rico and 52 for USA. 2-pointers, field goal, 27.7 for Puerto Rico, 65.9 for USA. 3-pointers, field goals, 29.4 for Puerto Rico, 28 for USA. And free throws, 87.5% for Puerto Rico and 66.7% for USA. All right. Rebounds, 31 for Puerto Rico and 49 for USA. Assists, 12 for Puerto Rico and 28 for USA. Turnovers, 18 for Puerto Rico, 14 for USA. 18 personal fouls for Puerto Rico and 18 personal fouls for USA. All right, so that's it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so and give me a thumbs up because it helps me and I much appreciate that. And until next time, my name is Barbara. Around the WNBA and other sports, peace and blessings.